Hey, what's up guys? Clef here, Alan Wake 2. That game is hard to run on our devices. So for the 6800U, I used the GPD Win 4. That is a 32 gigabyte model, and that's going to be important in a second. I'll explain why. I used the RoG ALLY, of course, for the Z1 Extreme, and I used the OneXFly for the 7840U. It requests 16 gigabytes of RAM to run, but we can still run it. You just have to know what you need to do. So on the RoG ALLY, you have to go into your settings. I'm probably going to put a video up. You have to go into your settings and change your UMA buffer to auto. If you put 8, it's not going to go through. It's just going to give you that error message that I'll also probably put up in the screen. So you have to set it on auto. On the OneXFly, because I have the 16 gigabyte model, on the OneXFly, the OneXPlayer, so you cannot change it in BIOS where you usually would do it. OneXPlayer, they have their software where you can change the UMA buffer size. You have to put 512 megabytes. So, you know, they call it 512, but I would assume that it's the auto profile, and that'll work to boot it on the OneXFly. And the GPD Win 4 that I have happens to be 32 gigabytes. So on that one, I was able to just straight up put 16, and I had no messages whatsoever when booting the game. However, it doesn't seem to have any impact on performance. Other than that, important to know, I had one crash only on the RoG ALLY. I didn't crash anywhere else. GPD Win 4 and OneXFly, I've used the latest drivers from AMD. On the RoG ALLY, I've been using the latest drivers that are officially being supplied until they come up with new drivers for the Z1 Extreme. I believe it's possible to force latest drivers, but you know, in fact, I'm sure it's possible, but I've read a lot of, you know, people saying it crashes, they have issues. So I have went with the safest option. I think that is one of the reasons why you'll see on the benchmark the RoG ALLY is not pulling its weight. All in all, the 6800U is holding its own quite decent compared to the 7840U, but of course, you know, the 7840U is going to come out on top. A couple of things to know. So you'll have the settings here as to how I set up my game in terms of graphics. I would say that on the 6800U, you're pretty much going to have to like go with 30 watt FSR on to run this game if you want like at least 30, because anything under seems to not really cut it. For the OneXFly, for the 7840U, you might be able to lower it a little bit, say to like 21 watt TDP. You might want to go just a smidge higher to make sure that you don't go under 30. But if you have FSR on, you will definitely like be in the 40 range. Of course, the FPS may differ depending on how much things are happening on the screen. But before the portion that I'm using to capture data, there's a portion where there's a lot of effects on screen. And the 7840U didn't budge under, you know, a certain threshold. So I think it's going to hold its own. You know, a little bit of a disclaimer here. You might see different performance as you play throughout the game.
You're already hard at work, Anderson. Close to cracking it?
We're just getting started. Let's head down the hill to the crime scene. Hey, Casey. You putting me in charge. Why now?
Look, Anderson, you're a better detective than I am. You've cracked cases that had the rest of us baffled. I don't want to slow you down.
Are you thinking of retiring? You know what happens to cops who say this is their last case.
Mm-hmm. Real funny, Anderson.
Stairs are out. You okay to jump down?
I'm not that old. Fucking nature. Gives me a headache. There's too much sky.
Not a bad place to get murdered.
If getting back to nature is your thing.
Damn. Should have brought an
Can I make it, Mulligan? Hey!
Deputy Thornton, I take it.
That's me, at your service, ready to get this case solved. Now the body's behind the store. Come on, I'll show you.
You forgot the UFO cover-ups.
What? Those are real? You guys hiring?
Thornton, he's joking.
Let's just see this body, shall we?
Thanks, Deputy.
No talk. You owe me a coffee.
Okay, let's start by examining our guest of honor. Does this fit the MO of the previous murders?
Wanna start by inspecting the body, Anderson?
I'm gonna go check something out. Be right back.
Got it.
That's pretty much it. I'm revisiting my setup on how I do these videos. I used to do them before, so you know there's a lot of things to iron out. But if you have any recommendations, please bring them my way. But yeah, just know that I want to keep covering the games as I did with Alan Wake 2, but the format will improve over time for sure. I want to have something that is more consistent across the board as well, and probably bring you more data, like, you know, that 99th percentile and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, all the good stuff. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment box. And yeah, definitely this game can be ran on our devices, but it's probably one of those games that really pushes the limit to what we can achieve with those handheld gaming PCs. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.